After 37 years of service, including 2 decades as president and CEO, the effects of John Malone's vision and leadership continue to impact an entire region.
I really admire John's character and his integrity.
I admire how John started here at the bottom and worked his way up.
He really is a people person. He really cares, genuinely cares about people.
I admire John's unwavering commitment to the patient.
He's dependable, he's truthful.
His ability to care so much about all the people that he works with.
He knows how to connect to people, he knows what's important to people, and he knows how to relate to exactly what they need.
A great leader, in my mind, is someone who has vision, someone who can see things that others can't.
A great leader is somebody who helps an organization go where they need to go, when they need to go, why they need to go, and where they're going.
Individual who is not afraid of making difficult decisions, willing to take risks at appropriate times.
Their commitment to mission, their compassion, their consistency, and their ability to adapt to change. And John Malone possesses all those characteristics.
I think John took over as CEO at Hamot at the perfect time. Early on in his career, Hamot was embroiled in what we now refer to as a strategic distraction. Of course, was the potential merger with a local competitor. Once that distraction ended, I think John learned the hazards of the status quo. And from that point forward, the status quo never really existed at Hamot.
Without his vision, we could have went in a couple other directions. We could have continued on a path of paralysis, which we were in during the merger discussions. We could have become less than what we were. And as John always mentioned, I think as a leading slogan for coming out of that, it was why not Erie, why not Hamot?
The St. Vincent thing would have defeated smaller people. Everybody around him was in various stages, and he was just resolute. I was very impressed at that moment. You see a person's character the most when they're under great pressure. And in that particular moment, he passed the test.
First time I had to sit beside him at a luncheon, I changed the name tags because I didn't want to sit next to him. I was scared to death of him because he was the big CEO. And then the next luncheon, I said, hey, he puts his pants on one leg at a time. He's a human being. What am I afraid of him for? So I sat next to him, and we had more fun.
He sits with groups of employees to talk about Hamot, to talk about them. He's concerned with them as not only as employees, but as individuals.
Saying hello, asking if he can eat lunch with you at the lunch tables.
He knows everybody. He will come through and talk and ask how you're doing.
I met him 12 years ago. He is the greatest.
Well, you always knew where you stood with John. There isn't anything phony about him.
I could walk down a hall and see him, and he would ask me how I was. And he'd really get right there and make eye contact with you. So he really cared.
John is well liked because he is such a caring individual. But I think even with his colleagues and others throughout the community, John has always had an ability to compromise, to adapt to change, to recognize that there is more than one way of getting things done.
John will be remembered as a CEO that continually pushed the organization to be its very best.
But clearly, the UPMC decision was the decisive one. That was the big moment, and it took a big man to make that decision and to lead the organization in that direction. And what's even more impressive is the fact that he did it near the end of his career, at a time when most people run in place, mark time, wait for the signal to go. John was moving mountains.
All one has to do is to go down to Dobbins Landing and look back up. And I think if you go down there today and you look back up, you can't do anything but feel impressed with the legacy that John has left for this community.
John just never takes himself too seriously. He has a fabulous sense of humor.
He has a way of saying something to you with a perfectly straight face. And he just sucks you in. And you say, really, John? And then he's like, I gotcha, didn't I, George?
You could be 3 rooms away, and you would know it was John in the room when he started to laugh.
It comes from his toes. You know he's in the room.
You've got to really be able to step back, pause, and keep it all in perspective. And John's sense of humor always did that.
Thank you, John, for all you've done for all of us and all of our patients. We will never forget you.
I will leave you with the nautical farewell. May you have fair winds and following seas, and have a wonderful retirement.
You've been a tremendous mentor to me and are probably the reason I'm in this position at this time. I think you've done an unbelievable job leading Hamot to the leading position it has right now.
John, I'm sure I speak for the entire emergency department when I say thanks for everything you've done.
John, I just want to thank you very much for everything. I have worked with you for many, many years, and you have been a great support, and I really appreciate all that.
You've been a great partner to us, leader. We thank you for everything.
John, thanks for your leadership and inspiration.
Thank you, and it's been a blessing working for you these years.
I just want to say good luck and congratulations. I sure am going to miss you.
Thank you, John. I hope you enjoy your retirement.
John, I hope your life is a fulfilling life, and God bless you.
Happy retirement. Enjoy yourself. You owe it to yourself.
John, thank you for everything you've done for UPMC, for Hamot, for the Erie community. You're just terrific, and we'll miss you so much.
John, I wish you health, happiness, and most of all, I wish you love.